Good evening, everybody. Hope you guys can hear me. Um, Nothing's wrong. I'm just getting all of my stuff set up. I don't have any music. I'm getting tired of these people banning me. Ugh. But it's good to see you all. I hope everybody's doing good. And let me get myself in the camera so you guys can see that I'm here. Missed you guys and hope everybody's doing okay. Thank you. I feel fabulous. It was a really good vacation. And I wish I was still on the island. I do. Um, but I've been too busy to mull about being back. A lot going on, a lot of things moving. And if you've been paying attention, you know that. So it's good to be back with you. Let me get my background lights on. Do me a favor while I'm getting set up here. Go ahead and drop in your city, state, or country if you're not from America in the chat area. Let me know where you're tuned in from tonight. We're going to get this party started. I'm really excited. I've got a good conversation tonight for you and a tough one in many regards as well. Florida, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Memphis, Tennessee. Of course, let me know where you've been and or where you're from, and go ahead and like and share the video. Will you do that? So let me know where you're tuned in from. Like, share the video. That's what I'm asking you to do. And I would greatly appreciate that. Why is that so low? Oh, that's why. I appreciate that. Baltimore, Memphis. Thank you so much, Michonne. Good to see you. Yes, rested, kinda. Upland, California, Poconos, Pennsylvania, Flint, Michigan, Venezuela. Thank you so much. Wow. Have I been in the gym? Yes, 4 times a week. Work out 6 times a week. Connecticut. Thank you. Alameda, California, thank you so much. Baltimore, Maryland, Chocolate City, DC, thank you. Dallas, Oklahoma, Davenport, Florida, New Jersey, thank you. Tucson, I appreciate all of you. Colonial Heights, hey, lovely Leo. Greensboro, what's up, Caitlin? Detroit, Las Vegas, Nevada, Abilene, Texas, New Jersey, Memphis, Tennessee. Hey, Auntie, good to see you. Chicagoland, Toronto, Canada, Chesapeake, Nashville, Jersey. Wow, it's a lot of people here. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I need you to like the video and share it so I can get in the algorithm. Napa, California. Thank you so much, New Jersey. Hey, I appreciate you. Dallas, we're on the way there. Hope to see you. Everybody from Dallas. I got a lot of support in Dallas, and so I need to see every single last one of y'all when we come to Dallas. Cleveland, Ohio, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. Glad to be back, kind of, sort of. Toronto, Chicago, appreciate you. Georgia, Detroit, thank you so much. Kenya, Chicago again, Toronto again. Wow, Miami, okay. Toronto, showing up tonight. Charlotte, appreciate you. Charlotte, going to be there in a week. About a week and 2 days. I'm really excited about that. Baltimore, Louisville, Kentucky, West Palm Beach, Florida, Maryland again. Y'all, when you do that, make sure you like the video after you tell me where you're from. So that means a lot of y'all have been answering. It ain't but 8 likes. So somebody not liking the video. I need you to like the video. I need you to share the video. If you're not going to support the show, at minimum, do that. Can you do that? Just hit the share button and let your friends make a decision. I really appreciate that. Louisiana, thank you so much. Hey, Naomi, I appreciate you. Um, am I glowing? It's called a tan. I don't know if it's a glow. But I appreciate that. It feels good. Hey, B, good to see you. I certainly got an announcement in a second. DC, Detroit. Wow, Taylor, Michigan. Thank you, Auntie. I appreciate you for liking and sharing. Maryland, all of you. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Do that. Like and share the video. I would really appreciate it. Y'all know how the algorithm treats me on these networks. But I've got some YouTube content that's going to be released this weekend. I'm going back to long form stuff there. It's been a while since I've done it. Haven't really had time, but I'm excited to do that. Here for my first live from Midland, Texas. Thank you so much, Samantha. Appreciate you so much. Hey, Q, good to see you. New Jersey. Hey, Tel Mel, good to see you. Just really excited to be back. Why is my thing off? There we go. All right, like the video, share the video. I want to get right into this. I didn't have any music again. I've been fighting these social media monsters as it relates to my content. You guys are not seeing my stuff. You probably, many of you have reached out to me like, Doc, do you still post? I do. You guys now have to really like, heart my stuff, even bookmark my stuff. That helps. And certainly if you hit the little kite on Instagram or the share button on Facebook or YouTube, and certainly TikTok, it helps to kind of get me in the algorithm there. We're not going to whine about it, but I'm just telling you guys why you haven't seen me much. But we're going to continue to do this work, but we are going to do a big transition into YouTube, long form content there, more podcast style, though I'm not getting a fancy set yet. I'm just going to just do this from this seed. But I've already recorded a video. That was a really good one. Should launch this weekend. So really appreciate all of your support. Do me a favor, like the video again, share it. This is what I need. I need all of you to get ready. Go ahead and grab your journals. I want to get ready to jump right into this tonight. Let me say to you, thank you so much. I missed you guys last Thursday. I really needed the break. And looking forward to my next one, hopefully in September timeframe, around my birthday. But I really appreciate the opportunity to catch a break. Certainly missed you guys, but I'm thankful for your support and want to shout out especially my subscribers, those of you that are subscribed on Patreon and Instagram. Thank you so much for your support. It has really been such a blessing, and I'm grateful for you. Thank you. Been following you since August of last year. I appreciate that. Right by faith. Thank you so much. And so appreciate all of that. I needed last Thursday. I needed last week off. It was great being out of the country for about 8 days. And yeah, I'm not tired. I'm just rested, but I'm kind of not rested. There's a lot going on. Charlotte. I'm going to be in Charlotte next Saturday, August the 16th. And I need you to get there. It is the only local stop to me that I have on the tour market, and I'm coming. And so if you have not um, purchased a ticket yet to Charlotte, I need you to do that right away. The flyer should be on the screen. If not, I'm going to get it up there real fast. I got a lot going on. But go ahead and grab your tickets. Tickets are really moving, have been moving over the last couple of days. It's going to move even more over the next week. It always does. So don't be last minute. I can't guarantee you the best seat of whatever. But I would love to see those of you that are in the North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Georgia, Tennessee. Y'all giving me a geography lesson. I'd love to see you, those of you that are in the regional area, come out and support Charlotte. Charlotte is really doing a good job of putting together um, a great tour stop there and a very solid team. And I've even got folks that are coming from out of town to support. And some of them are supporting for not just the first time, but for the second or third time. And so that really means a lot to me. And so I'm looking forward to seeing you all next Saturday, being right back on the market. And really excited about that. Listen, y'all, we got a winner. I cannot wait to announce this. We had a little contest. I want to shout out Miss Tiffany Watson, who is doing a really good job of leading the Charlotte team. I'll tell you, all of my site coordinators in every single city have been really solid. And so I'm really excited to seeing everybody, or hopefully see all of my site coordinators December. Oh my God, I don't have my paper with me. I think it's December the 13th. December the 13th, I believe it is, in Atlanta, Georgia. No, December the 6th. No, December the 13th in Atlanta, Georgia. That's going to be the last tour stop for 2025. Then we're going to regroup and figure out what 2026 is going to look like, though we've already been giving that some thought. And so I'm hopeful to have all of my site coordinators there, but they've done a really good job. But special shout out to Tiffany Watson, who's doing a really good job in the Charlotte area. And she had a little contest to give away a VIP ticket, and she's got a winner. And you've probably seen her name on many of the lives, especially if you watch on Facebook, if you watch on YouTube, if you watch on Instagram. Well, no, Facebook and YouTube, you've probably seen her name a lot. Miss Bianca is the VIP winner. And I'm so excited. Can't wait to see her. Looking forward to seeing her in Charlotte. She's going to spend some time with us at the tour. and special seating, but special VIP access, and it's going to be great. And really can't wait to not only see her, but everybody that is in the VIP. Now I'll say this: I last looked at the ticket sales, and there might be 2 VIP seats left, maybe 1 or 2. They're really moving. Those almost sold out like within weeks, and so it's going to be a great time. But shout out to Bianca. She did an amazing video that she tagged me on, really talking about how the work has impacted her and her life. She's an awesome single mother of 2 who's doing a phenomenal job of raising her children, and talked about how this healing work is really impacting her life in a tremendous way. And she also happens to do I look good. Thank y'all. Y'all really, they gassing me on TikTok tonight. The folks are gassing me on TikTok, talking about I look good. I'm glowing. All right, now y'all stop. You got Doc blushing over here. Bianca does a lot of great work actually, herself, in helping to empower women. And so just to have people in this space who support this work, people who do this work that support this work, that's a different level of support. It's one thing for people not in counseling, therapy, coaching, or whatever to sign up as a client or to support your work. It's another thing. I was telling a client this week that I have of the just under 1,200 clients that I've got in 47 countries now, probably 8 or 9% of them are counselors, therapists, coaches. And it's proof that every counselor, therapist, coach, needs a counselor, needs a therapist. And so that's always a great honor to have just over about 100 folks who do this work just as I do, but they come to me for this work. And so she does this work, and she really takes this work seriously. And so I just want to say thank you publicly, Bianca, for supporting my work, for participating in the contest. I know Tiffany was very pleased with the video. She was loving it, and I absolutely did as well. And so thank you so much for your support. And I really, really, really appreciate you. So let's give it up for Bianca. We're going to see you VIP, and I know the team is going to reach out and make that happen. So I've got more announcements, including Dallas coming up September the 13th. Los Angeles, California. So Dallas, September the 13th is coming up. If you have not got your received your tickets, I need you to grab those. September is going to be here before you know it. I'm really excited. I was in Houston, the second stop. It was a great success, one of the best stops we've had. I'm expecting nothing less in Dallas. And so if you have not grabbed your ticket in Dallas, I need you to tag somebody now and get to Dallas. Like the Charlotte stop, I've got people already booking tickets from other states coming to Dallas to support. And so I want to see you guys there. The team is going to be great. Can't wait to see you. All right. Also, this just launched. Los Angeles, California. I'm going to be in LA October the 4th, and it's going to be great. I'm excited. It's just general admission, no VIP, straightforward, very much like we did Atlanta. It's going to be great. Some of y'all have been dying to get to LA anyway. If you don't live on the West Coast, I would love to see you in Los Angeles, California, October the 4th. We are moving this train along. I'm hoping to announce the November stop and a possible bonus November stop. I got to get with my videography and media team. Shout out to Dez and the team. They do such a tremendous job with my content and managing my content now. But I'm hoping, fingers crossed, to maybe add a bonus stop in November in addition to New Orleans. So we're working on New Orleans and finalizing the date and location. And so it's going to be great. So there's a lot going on. I don't know why TikTok is talking about some type of mission thing. Every time you all do a comment, it's saying you all didn't participate in a mission. TikTok just is trash. Anyway, sorry, I get sidetracked sometimes. So it's a lot moving, a lot popping, but I really appreciate all of you, and I'm so excited for all of you, and just so very grateful for all of you. Now, perfect timing as a birthday gift trip. Very good. If that's a birthday trip and gift, get on a plane. Let's go. Let's make it work. It's going to be great. Now, let me say this. Yeah, I'm glowing a little bit. Y'all really gas? Why is everybody gas? Am I glowing like that? Y'all got the old man over here, over here. What? I can't even get my words together. Doc over here got tongue tied.
Y'all are gassing him up so bad. I don't know what's going on. Doc got a little glow. He got a little bit of rest, for sure. He got a little bit of rest, but it was a good time and just grateful for the rest. Now, let's get into the nitty gritty. Do me a favor, grab your journals. Let's talk about the rules and regulations real quick. Shout out to all of my moderators on every network that does the work. April, Tiffany, Caitlin, you guys are just freaking awesome. And so many others of you that also assist with them, and you just kind of do it in an unofficial way. I really appreciate it. Yeah, y'all got me blushing. It's crazy. It's so wild. Yeah, I can't believe this. This is crazy. But I appreciate your support. Now, do me a favor. Let's keep the comments very professional, especially tonight, because my goal is to offend everybody. If you are breathing, you might get offended tonight because I got to deal with something that impacts everybody. And it's a very common thing that's going to help you expedite your healing journey. I've got more announcements, but I want to get into it, including book number 5 that was released, that is now available for pre-sales. Don't make it happen, let it go. Just a lot going on. Doc has been working. That's why Doc don't have no life. All Doc does is work. All right. So if you want to be in my life, you're gonna be bored. Uh, so Doc's been working, but I've got to get to that. But keep the comments very professional. Do me a favor and do that. In the event that you see a comment that is not very professional, somebody trolling, don't go back and forth with birds. Here in Inspire Nation, eagles fly high above birds. All you got to do is just drop an eagle emoji in the chat. And when my moderators see the eagle emoji, they shoot the birds out of the sky. That's exactly what they do. And so please keep it professional. Shout out to all of my moderators for doing what you do. Finally, if I say something that makes sense, I want you to type church in the comments with as many R's as possible. And of course, support the show. Y'all can't be freeloaders. Doc, why you press people about salads? I'll tell you why. Not only because I like to eat, I press you about salads because many of you don't believe in investing in your own future and investing in your own development. And the reality is, anybody that does anything significant in their life has to invest in their own future. Doc invest in his own future. You would not believe the amount of money that I spent in the last 5 days since I've been back. Investing in who? Me. So it's one thing to tell people to invest in their future. It's another thing to practice what you preach. And so I want to challenge you guys to do this. All right. So I write you guys about supporting because this is information that people pay me hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars an hour to receive. You get it for free. Stop being a freeloader. Love y'all. Mean it. Okay. All right. So let's get ready to get into this. How did my son do? Well, voting ends in 26 minutes. And he was in first place the last time I checked. Let me see where he is right now, because he was in first, but I think he was going back and forth with somebody. He's currently in second. So if y'all want to vote for my son, make sure you do it. You got 22 minutes. But I really appreciate all of you that have voted for him. I try not to get my son, my kids involved in a lot of this stuff and the stuff that I do. I try to keep them clean from this, if I'm being honest with you, just because, people are just psychos out here. But certainly feel free to vote for him if you have not used your vote. That would be great. And I really would appreciate that. And so he's doing really well, and I know he'll make it to the second round. And I'm looking forward to whatever that is, that second round looks like. And so thank you all for doing that, and appreciate you all for voting for my son. That means a lot to me. Links in my bio. It's also on my story. And you can absolutely do that. Now, let's get into it. I want you to grab your journal, support the show. Type in the subject line tonight's topic. And it is, and this is going to hurt some of your feelings, but let's just go ahead and get into it. Choosing with your head, and put in parentheses, and your heart. I'm going to make it make sense. Choosing with your head, and then put in parentheses, and your heart. choosing with your head, and put in parentheses, and your heart. I'm going to make this make sense. It's going to make sense in just a second. Choosing with your head, parentheses, and your heart. Doc, why are you taking this approach? Let's have an honest conversation tonight. I'm coming out the gate swinging. It ain't going to take long. So good to see all of you again. Support the show. If you support the show, well, we'll leave it up. If not, subscribers is all yours. If you have not subscribed to Patreon and Instagram yet, highly recommend it. The best series I've ever taught in my life on healing attachment styles is going on. I got 2 more weeks, and it's been insanely good. I'm not kidding you. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Why is this important? Because I'm going to tell you from the beginning, I don't trust anybody with a dysfunctional heart. And I need you to put that in your journal now. You would be crazy to trust anybody with a dysfunctional heart. That includes you. And I get it. Some of you walk around. I wish I had my Muppets in here. Some of y'all walk around talking about some girl, dude, trust your heart. Go with your heart. Listen to your heart. I know that's a common thing. But let me tell you something about your heart. Your heart is only as reliable as your healing. Y'all writing this stuff down? Your heart is only as reliable as your healing. And a broken, dysfunctional heart will have you doing foolish stuff, making foolish decisions, and will cause you to think you're doing something effective because you're listening to your heart. I want to just come on out and say this now. If you're not healed, if your heart is dysfunctional and you're using your heart as the compass to make decisions, you are making bad decisions. Doc, how do you know? You don't know me. I don't need to. Just for all you walking around talking about something, I just listen to my heart. Like my heart told me what you just as broken and just as dysfunctional as you can be. How in the heck can you trust your heart when you're dysfunctional? How? How does that work? How does it work to trust your heart when you're broken? How does it work to trust a heart that has unresolved trauma and pain? How does that work? I'll tell you how it works. What does that look like, Doc? I'll tell you what it looks like. It looks like dysfunction. It looks like dysfunction. And when you trust, just listen to your heart. You just go with what your heart say. Your heart is filled with all of this brokenness and trauma. You will literally find yourself making one dumb decision after another. So you should be saying, then, Doc, thank you so much for the support, Naomi. I appreciate you. You will find yourself making one dumb decision after another. So you should be asking yourself this question. Then, Doc, what does a dysfunctional heart look like? I'm glad you asked. You ready? A dysfunctional heart is a broken heart that does not function at complete strength. I'm going to explain it. The word dysfunctional means broken. So a dysfunctional heart is a broken heart that does not function at complete strength. Can you comment on Kendra, psychiatrist? I don't even know who Kendra is. I don't mean that in a shady way. I don't follow the drama of nobody. It's probably why I'm not on any major podcast right now. If y'all threw names out at me, only people I know that's famous is Key Sweat. And that's because I hit y'all with the, oh, no, no, no. I don't know nobody else. Sorry, I can't help. I'm just being honest. I'm not being funny. I don't know who that is. I'm glad that question was asked. You know why some of you have dysfunctional hearts? Because your hearts, like your spirits, like your mind, and like your emotion, is filled with so much junk. You want to operate in dysfunction? If you want to continue to operate in dysfunction, keep watching and absorbing the stuff you watch and absorb. Uh-oh, it's about to get quiet. Part of the reason why some of you are dysfunctional, if I'm being honest, is because you entertain too much stuff. Your eyes are a gateway to your spirit, which means what you watch, what you listen to, what you absorb has the potential to become a part of who you are. So let's connect this to the content. You see how on time that comment was? So then you watch junk, you listen to junk, you entertain junk, and you have trauma unresolved from the past, your childhood, and everything else. You got all of this stuff going on in your personal life, and then you mean to tell me you make decisions with your heart and it can be trusted? In what world? In what world can you trust your decision making in your heart when your spirit is filled with junk? I told somebody this. Doc, oh my God, Doc, your picture was awesome. How many pictures? You didn't take a lot of pictures and photos while you were away? No, I took less than 15. I can pull my phone out and show you. I took less than 15 pictures over 8 days. You know why? Because unlike many of us, I don't need social media and what's going on in pop culture in order to function. In fact, much like a well-oiled machine, I function better when my machine, what's my machine? My temple. What's my temple? My body, my spirit. When I don't feed it a bunch of junk. Part of the reason why many of your hearts can't be trusted is because compounded on all of the trauma and all of the unresolved pain and all of the unresolved issues that you have in your life is a bunch of junk that you entertain and you just set on top of it. And then you wonder why. You keep trusting your heart and you have made no progress in your journey. Oh my God. No, you need to learn how to be in the present. I like that cue. You need to learn how to be in the present. You need to learn how to guard what you entertain. And I get it. I totally get it. Doc, that's old fashioned. Well, fine. Just do what everybody else does. But when y'all throw names out at me and be like, Doc, comment on this. What you think about this? Listen, if it happens to fall across my algorithm, which at one point I was getting so much junk coming across my algorithm on some of these social media networks that I just started purging stuff off. How did I end up following that person? Unfollow. I'm serious. I did it recently on Instagram. I cut about 40 people. Doc, you cut people? Yeah, I don't want junk in my face. And some of you are dysfunctional because all you do is entertain junk. Your relationships are filled with junk. Your partners are filled with junk. You know how many, let me tell you something. Do you know how many couples right now are miserable because one or both of them have spirits filled with junk? And then they run into a counselor like me who looks them in the face and tells them like it is, and they don't always like it. Go find somebody else. Somebody asked me in Grenada last week, found out what I do, which I try to keep that under wraps. I just be resting, relaxing. I don't be bothering nobody. People walk up to you, oh my God, you're a nice dressed man. What do you do? Oh, I'm counseling and coaching. Really? Yeah. You got an Instagram? Oh, I give them the Instagram. Next thing you know, they see me the next day in the pool. They bring their little floaty over to me, and the guy brought his little floaty. Hey, oh my God, we pulled you up. You're just a great guy. Hey, let me ask you a question. Sure. What is it? What do you think is the number one challenge to couples staying together? One or both partners having hearts filled with junk. Oh my God. And one or both of those same said partners not having enough self-awareness to realize that their hearts are filled with a bunch of junk. You know how many clients I've had, current and past, that have looked me in my face and lied week after week after week after week. And I've had to work through the junk in their heart to try to get them to a place of resolution, only to discover that they weren't even self-aware and honest enough with themselves to fix their own problems. Doc can be as brilliant as he wants to be, but if you ain't honest with you, I can't help you. So a dysfunctional heart, the word dysfunctional means broken. A dysfunctional heart is a heart that doesn't function at complete strength. And let me give you an easy analogy to help you understand what that looks like. You ever heard of people having heart attacks out of the blue? They seem to be healthy. They had a heart attack. Maybe they lived, maybe they passed away. They seemed to be healthy. They were active, but underneath the surface, they had some issues with their heart that created a cardiac arrest that they weren't even aware that they were there. And they were attempting to live their life as normal and seemed to be living their life as normal. But underneath the surface of what we couldn't see was a heart that wasn't functioning well. That's what a dysfunctional heart looks like. A dysfunctional heart looks like something that's cool on the outside, maybe to you and maybe to some people. But underneath the surface, when we peel the layers, there is some brokenness there that's causing it not to function at complete strength. You are not functioning at complete strength when your thoughts, your emotions, and your spirit don't agree. Are y'all writing this down? Are you writing this down? You're not functioning at complete strength when your heart, your thoughts, emotions, and your spirit don't agree. Which I'm already kind of skipping ahead because that's number one of when can you start trusting your heart? Well, I just gave you number one. When your heart, when your thoughts, emotions, and spirit get on the same page. Now, watch this. If you ain't got no spiritual foundation, you already dysfunctional. Oh my God. I know the condition of your heart. Some of y'all not going to agree with that. Doc, that's a little extreme. You mean to tell me I have to have a spiritual foundation to have a solid heart? You do. Because if not, your feelings will fool you and then turn around and make a fool out of you. Put in the comment a one if you've ever made a decision with your feelings and it felt great, only to discover after the fact that that feeling decision you made that felt great turned around and made a complete fool out of you. Ever happened to you? I wish I could type a one in there for me. Anybody? Any takers? Look at the comments. So I'll tell you when you can start trusting your heart. You can trust your heart when your thoughts, your emotions, and your spirit agree. And if you ain't got a spiritual foundation, get one. Because if you don't have one, then it ain't no way you can have a functional heart. Guess what, y'all? Put this in the chat in all capital letters. This is a spiritual principle, which means put this in the chat in all capital letters. You know what I'm about to tell you to type. Levels. This thing on? Levels. Levels. What's the spiritual foundation? You need to get the book 5 Areas of Healing. I explain it really well. But I'll give you a 30-second explanation because I'm in a great mood. You ready? A spiritual foundation means you have something you can tap into when things don't make sense mentally and don't agree emotionally. Your spiritual foundation is to help you create reason for the things that don't make mental and emotional sense. And if you ain't got no spiritual foundation, you can't have a functional heart. I don't care what nobody told you. Your mama, Dr. Phil, I don't care. So I'm telling you, many of you are struggling right now. Yeah, 5 Areas will be available back in stock next week. Woo. Y'all, it has been out of stock since oh, when 5 Areas launched a year ago. That book's been out of stock 4 times, 4 or 5 times. So it's coming back in stock again. We'll see how long it lasts. But let me tell you something. You ain't got no spiritual foundation. I don't trust your heart. Your heart is deceitful and it's wicked by nature. Oh my God, Doc, you're telling me that my heart is bad by nature? I was told that our hearts are intrinsically good by people that don't have a spiritual foundation. This is a much larger spiritual conversation that I won't have because it's really going to separate first class from coach. It's going to draw a dotted line. Because the only way you understand that concept about our hearts being evil by nature is understanding that in the world there's a greater sense of good and what? Evil. I can't do this tonight because that'll take the conversation in a place 75% of y'all not ready to have. That's a really good question. This question is going to catch us straight. How do you know if you have the right counselor? If that counselor challenges you, their work is grounded in truth, elevation. I think this is a great question. If their work is grounded in truth, it challenges you to be better, makes you the best version of yourself, and it gives you practical tools you can apply that allow you to see progress. There it is. Does this make sense, y'all? So if you ain't got no spiritual foundation, you don't have no functional heart. And this is what makes book number 5 going to be a hard read for some of you. I recommend that you get book 5. Don't make it happen, let it go. But letting go is a spiritual principle, which is why many of you are still holding on to relationships that died years ago because you're trying to do something, let go, in a natural way that is really a spiritual principle. So your heart and your thoughts aren't agreeing with the concept of walking away from something that no longer serves you that you once loved. Because in your mind and in your spirit, it makes sense to still have sentiments towards it. It's a spiritual principle. And many of you are going to read that book, and the stuff you've been holding on to for years, you're going to walk away from it in days. I highly recommend you get 5 Areas of Healing to go with it. Because it is easier for people to let go when you have a mental, emotional, and spiritual foundation. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. I'm going to show you what a functional heart looks like. We're going to get to that in the end, but I just gave you one of those things. A functional heart looks like a heart that is surrounded by thoughts, emotions, and a spirit that's on the same page. That's one of many. So I'm telling you right now, if your heart, your emotions, and spirit ain't on the same page, 1, 2, if you don't even have a spiritual foundation, you're living with a dysfunctional heart. Woo-hoo! 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 I can feel the groans through the computer. I'm telling you right now, you're living with a dysfunctional heart. And just like a heart fails on a person who seems to be healthy, and sometimes it fails and they get congestive heart failure and they have a heart attack, they pass out or they might die. Let me tell you something. You might appear to be normal to most, but here's the key. When you get around a doctor, not just doc, but when some of your family members and friends get around you and you've been doing this work mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and you got a mental, emotional, and spiritual foundation, and you're around family and friends who think they have a functional heart, but they keep making these dumb decisions that they're completely oblivious to, but they can't recognize because it feels normal to them, but under the surface is dysfunctional, you will be able to, like a doctor, look at them and say, something wrong with your heart. Yeah, I like that question, bro. Brother Randall. Don't know you, but I like that question. Got to get the book. What have you been spiritually abused? I got some for that. If you've been spiritually abused, let's talk 5 areas of healing: mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, financial. I didn't mean to go this route, but I'm led there. Let's do it. Mental, and we'll get back to the notes, y'all. Y'all bear with me. Mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, financial. If a person's been spiritually abused, that's a spiritual matter. Connected to that spiritual abuse will be some unwavering emotions about a spiritual foundation. You can't fix spiritual abuse with more spirituality. I know that's going to fly in the face with a lot of people, especially people that say, just pray about it. I'm about to get in trouble. This is about to get bad. You're telling me that when somebody with spiritual authority abuses you, the best advice we can give to people is go pray? Now, because I don't want y'all to take a soundbite and run, there's nothing wrong with prayer. Prayer works. Some of y'all believe in God. Some of us believe in God. Some of y'all believe in Buddha, Allah, whatever. Look, Mother Earth, whatever y'all believe in it. I'm talking about for me as a believer. Prayer works. Have clients from all walks of life, all religions. But let me tell you something as a believer. I have told people to pray about spiritual abuse, and I've also told people to go get a counselor and a therapist. And you know what's wrong with trying to fix spiritual abuse with just prayer? Faith without works is dead. So if a person has been spiritually abused, follow me. Mental, emotional, spiritual. If a person has been spiritually abused and you tell them to pray, that ain't going to fix their emotions. That ain't going to fix necessarily their thoughts. It might help to temper them down. It might help them to be able to get through some situations and be able to move forward in some ways. But let me tell you something. When that good feeling of prayer wears off and you got to go right back in front of the person that abused you, if you don't have tools to regulate your emotions and tools to stabilize your thoughts, guess what? You're going to stay in a cycle of spiritual abuse. So how do we fix it? Well, if you've been spiritually abused, prayer is good, but that ain't enough. Take that out. Well, you're not going to be able to wrap your emotions around it because your emotions are going to be all over the place. Take that out. Guess what we got to start with? Our thoughts. You can fix spiritual abuse by going back and restructuring the thoughts surrounding the abuse that you've experienced. And if you cannot do it with your thoughts, you can go deeper than that to your beliefs, because beliefs create thoughts, thoughts create emotions, and emotions help you to build a foundation spiritually. Which is why this notion of church hurt is both real and fake at the same time. You ain't never heard an answer like this. It is real because it exists, but it's also fake because with the right tools, you can go through church hurt. And if you properly not just pray, but also regulate your emotions and your thoughts and your beliefs around that hurt, you can be restored. No different than you being abused and hurt by your supervisor and you still go back to work. Y'all not gonna like this. Let me just move on. I don't even want to go there. I used to get invited in my previous life to a lot of conventions and convocations. They don't invite me no more. They don't invite me no more. The truth gonna set you free and make you mad. Yes, honey. Yes, but you have to wash it and you have to be very careful. Okay? Love you too. Please be careful with that knife, Giselle. My daughter wants to cut some kiwi. You have to wash it really good, baby. All right. Is this making sense? Y'all better be supporting this show because I'm definitely taking this down. Subscribers will jump on this like piranhas. So let's get back to this whole dysfunctional heart thing now that we've had a spiritual conversation. Good questions. I'm glad I saw them because there are a lot of viewers on. I ain't even counted. I just looked up and we are right at about 700 viewers. Let's get this up to 1,000. No, we're about just over 600. Let's get this to 1,000. Is this making sense? So let's talk about what a dysfunctional heart does. You know what dysfunctional hearts do? Dysfunctional hearts make foolish decisions. And I got to spend some time here. Dysfunctional hearts, put this in the comments. You're going to be the smartest person in the water cooler. Dysfunctional hearts make foolish decisions. Dysfunctional hearts make foolish decisions. Well, then you should be saying, then, Doc, that's so subjective. How can you just call a decision just fool? Baby, did you wash it good, Giselle? You really, really good? You have to really scrub that thing. Okay. Sorry, y'all. My baby's cutting a kiwi. Dysfunctional hearts make foolish decisions. So you should be saying in your mind, then what is a foolish decision? I'm glad you asked. Somebody asked me the other day, Doc, asked me also while I was in Grenada, wow, so you got all these people from all of these cultures and religious backgrounds that come here? Yeah. And you're a Christian? Yeah, I am. You got Muslims that come to you? They do. In droves. You know why? Because pain is the universal language of humanity. Greater than what you believe, we all agree that when you cry, when somebody hurts you, you feel the same pain that I do. And let me tell you something else that's universal with humanity: foolishness. Foolishness is universal with humanity. Universal with humanity. Let me define that. You want to know what a foolish decision is? Here's my definition of a foolish decision. It's a long one. Tiff, I know you always record my definitions well. Caitlin, April, this is long, but I want y'all to write this long definition down of foolishness. Hey, TikTok, share the video. Wow, we had almost 300 viewers on a live in a long time. There was a day TikTok, I used to have 900, 1,000 viewers every live. But anyway, y'all share the video. No Q&As tonight. I've just been randomly answering some. Here's my definition of foolish decision. Y'all ready? Any decision that compromises, I'm going to read it several times. Any decision that compromises short or long-term safety, security, or well-being as a result of the conscious or subconscious lack of mental and emotional alignment. I told you it's long, but I'm going to break it down. A foolish decision. Y'all know I do custom definitions here. You ain't going to find this in Webster. A foolish decision is any decision that compromises short or long-term safety, security, or well-being as a result of the conscious or subconscious lack of mental and emotional alignment. I'm going to give it to you again. A foolish decision is any decision that compromises short or long-term safety, security, or well-being as a result of the conscious or subconscious lack of mental and emotional alignment. It's one of the best definitions I've ever created. Tiffany, you good, man. Tiffany Watson, you are good. A foolish decision, my definition is any decision that compromises short or long-term safety. Yeah, it's real deep, ain't it? Short or long-term safety, security, or well-being as a result of the conscious or subconscious lack of mental and emotional alignment. You will never find another definition of foolish decision anywhere. And y'all can't steal it because I got it copyrighted. Oh my God. I had to copyright stuff. I did. Somebody hit me up and said, Doc, you all right with the post you put up the other day? Yeah, I'm fine. I just had to remind people that honor. Anyway, I'm not going to go there. Did y'all get that definition? A foolish decision is any decision that compromises short or long-term safety, security, or well-being as a result of conscious or subconscious lack of mental or emotional alignment. Let's break it down. Let me give it to you in parts if you still ain't got it. Let me give you the first part. Any decision that compromises short or long-term. So, number one, a foolish decision has both implications for now and the future. Y'all writing all of this down? Write down the definition. If you didn't write down the definition or don't see it on your screen, I'm going to give it to you in parts and put sub notes under it. You ready? Part one. Any decision that compromises, you got it? Good. Love you too. Any decision that compromises short or long term. Let's stop there. So foolish decisions have implications for the immediate future and long term future. Implications for both now and down the road. I don't see a lot of salads. I hope y'all supporting. They not supporting. Let me give you the second part of the definition. That compromises short or long term, here we go, safety, security, or well being. So let me help y'all. If you make a decision that compromises your safety, it is foolish. If you make a decision that compromises your security, it is foolish. If you make a decision that compromises your well being, it is foolish. I told a client that is a man who's going to let me share this story. That's why I'm giving y'all a little taste of what I told him. I told a client that is a successful man that keeps wasting time with a woman who is doing nothing but draining him and pulling him down. And he's doing it because she is his type. And I said to him, you are a walking, breathing fool. What, Doc? Yes. You are a walking, breathing fool. Doc, how? Because you are making the decision to stay with her and it's compromising your safety, security, and well being. Oh my God. So when you make a decision that compromises your safety, security, and well being, you're a walking, living, breathing fool. Let me let y'all absorb that. Y'all don't like this. Go to somebody that's sweeter. A walking, living, breathing fool. Here's the problem. If you are doing that and you're not even self-aware that you are, that takes your foolishness to a different level. That takes your foolishness to a greater sense of danger. It's one thing to be foolish. It's another thing to be foolish and you ain't even aware that you foolish. Oh, ladies, I ain't gonna leave y'all out. Many of you didn't see my story for today. Probably just didn't show up in the algorithm. But I posted, thank you, Nikolai, for your support. Really appreciate that. That means a lot to me. Thank you. Many of you didn't see my story that I posted today, client story, short, because I'm not showing up in the algorithm like I used to, about a conversation that I had with a lady that I just, in essence, said she's just mean. She's a mean girl. And that's a thing with a lot of women today. A lot of you women think that being a mean girl is a cute thing until you meet a healed, successful man. There ain't nothing attractive about you being mean. I don't care how soft your lips are, how great your shape is. I don't care how good you throw it back. You could throw it back with the best of them. If you mean to a healed man, there ain't nothing attractive about that. You know what else I said to her though? She had a problem that I didn't mention in the video because it would have took a totally different route. When I do these client recaps, I pick and choose what I want to pull out of these stories when they agree to allow me to do it. You know what she said to me? Because the guy that told her she was mean was the guy that walked away from her. I said, well, tell me about the relationships that lasted a little bit longer that really hurt you. She said, well, Doc, I've been attracted to thugs in my life historically. You know, guys that just, really weren't that good. You know, Jodies, Pookies. Jodies and Pookies. Let me say this out loud to all of you, ladies that like Jodies and Pookies. But you claim to be on a healing journey. Let me talk to all of you ladies that like Jodies and Pookies, but you claim to be on a healing journey. You ready? If you like Jodies and Pookies with your PhD, your law degree, your real estate, your nurse, whatever you do, and you're on a healing journey, but you just love a good Jody and Pookie, and that Jody and Pookie probably is compromising your long-term safety, security, or well-being, that would make you a what? That would make you a what? It starts with an F. It's 4 letters. The ones in the middle are the same. So you ladies ain't exist. Y'all know I'm equal opportunity over here. Nobody can ever call me a simp. Nobody can ever say I'm just kowtowing to women. I get everybody. I don't care who you are. If you breathing, you gettable. That would make you a fool. Why? Because you are making a decision that compromises your short or long-term safety, security, or well-being. Let's go further. Let's keep going with the definition. So let me give you the part that I've given you so far. Yeah, walking, breathing, living, talking, gum popping, skirt wearing, lip gloss having, 22-piece hair wearing, fool. And by the time some of you women wake up and realize how foolish these decisions are, and you decide you want to heal man, you will have been so fooled that by the time you try to come to him, he's not going to want to have nothing to do with that. See how quiet it is? This is why dudes can't accuse me of simping. I get everybody. It's about how like we do with God. You know, we run our lives in the ground. And then when we get about 70, we say, oh, I want to give my life to Christ. I'm being, you get about 70, you done had 100 bodies, you done been turned every upside way but straight, and then you stagger in the temple, in the mosque, in the synagogue, in the church and say, I want to give my life to Allah. Here's the difference between God, Buddha, Allah, and a human. God will take you. That's what makes him who he is. But some of us on this healing journey, no, we don't want that. And you make foolish decisions, ladies and men, when you compromise your healing for people who make decisions that compromise their short or long-term safety, security, or well-being. Y'all don't like this, do you? Y'all don't like this. I know. I love y'all anyway. Doc, rest it. I could go on for hours and hours. Let's keep going with the definition. Foolish decision, definition. Any decision that compromises short or long-term safety, security. Oh, wow, we're over 300 on TikTok. Y'all keep sharing. TikTok, y'all doing it tonight. I can't believe I'm in the algorithm. Kind of, so, well, I'm not. No, because it should be like 2,000 viewers. Yeah, it should be printed in bold, for real. Foolish decision definition. Let's keep going. Any decision that compromises short. Are y'all supporting the show, by the way? I forgot. I don't see no salads. Michonne, they're not supporting the show. Are y'all supporting the show? Southern Sweet Tea. I don't know who you are, but she's been supporting the show. Y'all support the show. Drop some salads. You see the ways to support on the screen. Foolish decision. Any decision that compromises short or long-term safety, security, or well-being. Here we go. As a result, let's deal with this part of the conscious or subconscious, which means, let's stop here. I'm taking this line by line, verse by verse. Conscious or subconscious, what? That means foolish decisions, sometimes we can be aware. Yeah, there's about 15 extra pages of me on TikTok. It's crazy. They won't get rid of them. Foolish decisions can be decisions that we make consciously or out of awareness. They can also be decisions that we make out of a lack of awareness, which is why I explained to somebody this week, a really good conversation with a client, that we have to learn how to give ourselves grace, because you are not responsible for the things pre-awareness. You're accountable for those things. Y'all need to write this down. I need you to pause your notes and put in a different section. I am not aware of things. I am not responsible for things pre-awareness. I'm accountable for them. I'm going to explain. Thank you, Brother Cam. I love when men support the show. I appreciate that, brother. I am not responsible for things pre-awareness. I am accountable for them. I'm going to explain this. My bad, Cam. You did. Oh my God, let me do that for you, brother. Oh my God. Appreciate you. I am not responsible for things pre-awareness. I am accountable for them. What's the difference, Doc, between accountability and responsibility? I've explained this. If you're a supervisor and you got 10 employees under you, and one of those employees creates a report that has bad data on it, who's responsible for the report? The employee is. The employee created the report. They have direct awareness and responsibility, obligation for that report. Who's accountable for the report? The supervisor is, because that report came under the leadership of a superior who did not have direct obligation for it, but now has to deal with it. Accountability works the same way, pre-awareness. When you are not aware of things, it doesn't mean you're absolved from all obligation, but it ain't responsibility, it's accountability. Which means if you were a piss poor father or mother before your healing journey, and now your kids are 25 and you're healed, but they still have resentment because of how you did not show up when you were a young father or a young mother, you are accountable for that. Even with my healed self, Doc, yes, you are. You're accountable for that. Now, after your healed journey, they're 25, and now you're on a healing journey, and now you decide consciously, post the healing journey, post awareness, to go out here and still do something stupid. Now you're responsible. This matters. So this implies to us that foolish decisions can be both done out of both awareness and subconsciously. Which is why the goal, the ultimate goal in your healing journey, is to reach a place of self-awareness. Write this down. For many of you, this is your first live. You've never heard the definition before. For those of you that are veterans to this live, you know the definition of self-awareness. What's self-awareness? It's honesty about who you are, where you are, and what you're doing at any given time. The minute you get to a place of honesty about who you are, where you are, and what you're doing is the place of awareness. When you get there, every decision you make post that place of awareness, you become directly responsible for it. Is this making sense? So, foolish decisions can be both conscious, done out of awareness, and subconscious. Okay? Let's keep going. I'm going to start back from the beginning and go a little bit further. We're almost at the end. Any decision, foolish decision definition, any decision that compromises short or long-term safety, security, or well-being as a result of the conscious or subconscious, here we go, lack of Mental and emotional alignment. Let's talk about mental and emotional alignment, and we're done. Well, we're done with this definition. I got some more notes. Mental and emotional alignment looks like your thoughts and your feelings being on the same page. This is why I coined tonight's live choosing with your head first and then your heart. Why? Because your thoughts should be telling your emotions how to feel, and your feelings should never tell your thoughts how to think. This is fresh out the book. 5 Years of Healing. Back in stock Monday. Your thoughts should tell your feelings how to feel. Your feelings should never tell your thoughts how to think. Never. Never, ever, 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 never. We create mental and emotional alignment by ensuring that our thoughts and our emotions are on the same page. And Ebony on TikTok nailed it. Baby, when them two finally collide, that's when the magic happens. Because when your thoughts and your emotions get on one accord, it's hard for you to be fooled. And it's hard for you to be foolish. You ought to write that down. When my thoughts and feelings get on the same page, it's hard for me to be foolish. Some of y'all need to print that and put it on your refrigerator. You need to get it tattooed right here. When my thoughts and feelings get on the same page, it's impossible, nearly, to be foolish. Which then implies what, Doc? I'll tell you what it implies. That if your thoughts and emotions, if you've been foolish, if you've been making foolish decisions, and you at least have the awareness to know you've been making these foolish decisions, then guess what that automatically implies? That probably, maybe just maybe, your thoughts and emotions aren't on the same page. And I can guarantee you, if you don't believe this, here's an easy journal prompt for you. Go in your journal in the morning to the next page, and I want you to write down 5 recent foolish decisions you made. You want a visual? Get a blank sheet of paper. Let's do it. Doc back. You want to see how your thoughts and your feelings, whether or not they've been on the same page? I can prove it. Get a sheet of paper, hold it vertical like this. Watch this. Just hold it vertical like this. Okay? And I want you to create 3 columns. I'll show you how. Give me a second. Oh, let me move this so I can get up here. Get this off my lap. Whoo, y'all supporting the show. This is a good time to support while you grab your paperwork. Because I'm taking this live down tonight. The way I've been screaming and hollering at y'all. Ain't no need to letting the public get this for free. For me to have to go through the trolls sharing this, talking about how I scream at people. Because they don't want to be corrected. Oh my God. Let me stop taunting people. I can't help it. It's just, it's ingrained in me. My daddy is a taunter. I hope he ain't watching, because he is. But he just does it so much nicer than I do. My daddy's going to be in Charlotte, y'all. My mama and my daddy. I got family coming. I'm so excited about that. Coming to support me. Really means a lot to me. Y'all make, I'm going to show y'all what it should look like. Let me get it together, y'all. Give me a second. I shouldn't have did it on this paper. Why did I do it on this notebook? Sorry. Hold on. I talk to my brother and a lot of musician friends that I have and get them to make me some waiting music so I don't get copyright flags and all of this foolishness. Having been a retired musician, I have enough musician friends that can help me do this. Let me show y'all what this looks like. Y'all bear with me. I'm just trying to make it as neat as possible, because if I leave this up, I'll make a picture of this and I'll put it on my story so you can screenshot it if you can't catch it quickly.
1, 2, 3,
4, 5. And you can make as many as you want. This is an easy chart. I want you to make something like this. Okay? Something like this. 3 columns. You can make 5, 6 rows. The top row, far left corner, I want you to write the word decision. No, I want you to write foolish decision. No. Don't even write foolish. Just write decision. You can measure it. I'll let you measure it. I'm giving you an easy way through your journaling. I'm giving you an easy way through your journaling where you can determine whether or not you make a foolish decision. So I want you to write in the upper left-hand corner, decision. Next box, I want you to write here, thoughts with the question mark. I play about 8 instruments, 8 different instruments. Last column, I want you to write the word emotions. Put a question mark there. If you want to measure whether or not you've made foolish decisions, do this. Think about the last 5 questionable decisions you made. The last 5 questionable decisions you made. Let me give y'all want an example? Yep, the last 5 recent questionable decisions. If you want to know whether or not you're making foolish decisions and you're choosing things with your heart instead of your head or putting your thoughts and your emotions on the same page, let me give you an example of how you can do it. Let me give you an example of something I hear all the time. Decision. Stayed with an abusive partner who would not change. Write that in the decision column. I know that's small, you can't see it. Okay? Then come right next to it and ask yourself, what were my thoughts when I decided to stay? I'll give you an example of thoughts that I've heard in this chair, having nearly 1,200 clients in 47 countries. I've heard things like, thoughts like, well, together for 15 years. Thoughts like, we have history. Thoughts like, I can't start over. So write down those thoughts. I can already tell by this example, we ain't even got to write down the emotions part. You can look at the thoughts with some sanity and realize something ain't right. Can't you? But let's write down the emotions anyway. I'll give you an example of things that I've heard using this same decision. Emotions like, well, Doc, I'll feel guilt for leaving. I would feel shame. This is a big one. Doc, I am embarrassed. So the decision was to stay with an abusive partner who would not change. And my thoughts were, wow, we've been together for 15 years and we have history and I can't start over. And your emotions said, well, great. Yeah, because if you do, then you're going to be guilty. And you're going to feel shame and embarrassed. Question, are your thoughts and emotions on the same page? No. In fact, they're both agreeing with your foolishness. That would make this, y'all, a dumb decision. A foolish decision. You don't believe me? Try this. You get up in the morning, let this be your journal prompt. And this is what you're going to find out. There's a whole lot of fools on this call tonight. I love y'all. You know Doc love y'all. You know Doc loves you. So Doc's not saying this just to call you names. Doc's saying this to wake you the heck up. There's a lot of fools on this call. Why? Because your thoughts and your emotions are not on the same page. And when your thoughts and emotions are not on the same page, you're going to make foolish decisions. There will not be any mental and emotional alignment. Put your thoughts and emotions on the same page. Let your thoughts drive the car. Put your emotions in the car because your emotions matter. How you feel matters. Notice I had the title of tonight, Choosing with Your Head, parentheses, and your heart. Your heart belongs in the conversation. It shouldn't just be driving the car. Oh, your heart belongs in the conversation, but it does not belong with driving the car. I like that, Shahira. How you feel does matter, but how you feel shouldn't be driving the vehicle. And that's where many of y'all mess up. Many of you let your heart drive the car. So you know what you do? You let guilt and shame and embarrassment drive the car. How do you do it? Because you let guilt, shame, and embarrassment keep you in an abusive relationship. Instead of having a healthy set of thoughts that say, hey, if you don't leave, you might die. Or a healthy set of thoughts that say, hey, you can start over. It's never too late. So then, Doc, wait a minute. What can I do in the interim? I know my audience. Right now, 228, 94, 330. Wow. We're right under 700 viewers right now. Y'all like and share the video. This video should have 4,000 people watching. We'll get there one day. Real soon. So then, Doc, what can I do in the interim? Because I feel like my feelings are fooling me and making a fool out of me. I feel like my feelings have me in dumb situations right now. And right now, I feel like the car is going a million miles an hour. And what do? Just slam on the brakes? I'll tell you what you should do. If you feel like tonight your thoughts and emotions are not on the same page and you're in the middle of something you got to make a decision about, and you want to feel confident that you're making a good decision, that you're making the right decision, and that you're making a decision that you can find peace with. You ready? I would love to have you. I would love to be a part of your journey, Michelle. Thank you so much for that. Teresa, how do I go about scheduling a session? My book you said reschedule? Have we worked together before? If we worked together before, just shoot me an email. If not, because you should be a client, you should have a client link. If not, my book should hopefully go open in a couple of months. You have. Shoot me an email, info@zebthethird.com. You should have a client link. I can make sure you get it. What can I do to make sure that I make a good decision? I feel like, Doc, my thoughts and my emotions aren't on the same page. I feel good. Yep, send me an email. I can get you that client link. You should have one. You may have just lost it. It's no big deal. You feel like your thoughts and your emotions aren't on the same page. Your mind is telling you this is a bad idea. Your emotions is telling you, but if you leave, you're going to feel guilty, shame, embarrassed. I'm just using this example, whatever the decision is. What can I do? Let me give you an alternative that's going to shake some of you. You ready? If you're in this position where you feel like you're making foolish decisions, but you're so in deep right now that you don't know what to do next, I want you to try something. Wait. Huh? I want you to try waiting. Wait a minute, Doc. Hold on, Doc. This makes no sense. Wait a minute. Hold on, Doc. You're telling me that my thoughts and my emotions aren't on the same page. This is chaos. I feel like I'm making a whole bunch of foolish decisions. And now you're telling me to wait. I am. I'm telling you to wait. You know why? Because sometimes when you don't know what to do or you don't have the strength to do what you need to do, the best thing to do is to sit still and let the elements in your environment come together as such to be able to open up a pathway for you to do what you need to do. Waiting is better than making a foolish decision. It's better than making a rash decision. It's better than making an ignorant decision. Sometimes you got to recognize the power of sitting still. Watch this. I'm going to put you on game, and this is a spiritual matter. You ready? The only people annoyed by waiting are broken people. Don't you ever forget. Oh, that's salad worthy. I tell you what, y'all don't support this show tonight. You won't see the this live will not see the light of public day. Ain't no way. The only people annoyed by waiting are broken people. That's it. The only people annoyed by waiting are broken people. You don't believe it? If you got something, a decision you need to make in your life that's involving other people and they pressing you, but your thoughts and emotions ain't on the same page, and you don't feel at peace to make the decision because you don't want to make a foolish decision, just tell them, hey, I need a second. I'll get back to you. They might be cool the first time you say it, a day or two. A week later, 2 weeks, they're going to be fussing and arguing. But if you don't have no mental, emotional, and spiritual agreement, the best thing I can tell you to do is wait, watch. Because if you wait, sometimes their response will be your answer. Some of y'all trying to cut people off when all you got to do is just wait and they'll fall off. Some of y'all trying to cut people off, and all you got to do is wait and align mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and guess what? They'll disappear. Oh, I got to cut people. Oh, no, you don't. No, 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 no. Why don't you just align mentally, emotionally, and spiritually and wait? Because the only people annoyed by waiting are broken people. That's in anything. Let me borrow some money. Tell them to wait. If they get annoyed, get frustrated, start laying you out, this is a reflection of their brokenness, and it's proof that you shouldn't give them the money. You got your answer. You told them that you didn't want to do the do right now. Many of y'all not going to understand this because some of y'all have never practiced celibacy or abstinence. So you don't know, this is not going to make sense. But if you've ever practiced celibacy before, you know what I'm talking about. You didn't want to do the do right now, and you had a chance to do the do. So you said, I like you, but I think we should wait. And they get agitated or annoyed. Keep waiting until you get some spiritual, mental, and emotional alignment. And watch what happens. The only people who get annoyed by that, broken people. You won't have to cut them off. They'll leave. You won't have to block them. They'll block you. So I laugh at people that's breaking their neck to cut people off. No, get in alignment. If you get in alignment, people will fall off. Record that. If I get in alignment, people will fall off. If I get in alignment, people will fall off. That's how it works. Because there could be situations in your life that you're not sure of. And instead of you making a foolish decision, I would rather you wait until you're sure than to make a foolish decision and then be filled with regret. Or to have to tune on this live and hear me scream at you calling you a fool. Just wait. Get in alignment and people will fall off. Situations will fall off. Yeah, they will. Waiting, just like the word no, is a decision. Doesn't matter what the circumstance is, y'all. Doesn't matter what it is. Get in alignment. Do not make a decision without mental, emotional, and spiritual alignment. All I'm trying to say to y'all, that I've been trying to say to y'all for the last 90 minutes, is do not make a decision without mental, emotional, and spiritual alignment. Do not make a decision without mental, emotional, and spiritual alignment. If it makes sense in your mind, it makes sense with your emotions, it makes sense with your spirit, which means you need a spiritual foundation in order for this live to make sense. Levels. If it makes sense with those things, make the decision. If not, wait. I got a better one than that. If it doesn't make sense, record this. This ain't in my notes. It just came to me. If it doesn't make sense, ready? Either wait or walk. Thank you so much, Brother Cam. Appreciate you. If it doesn't make mental, emotional, or spiritual sense, or mental, emotional, spiritual alignment, if you ain't going to wait, then walk. You got two choices, wait or walk. Wait or walk. Is a good question. Where is it? Let me see it. What's the good question? What if it's marriage? I don't care what it is. Marriage even more so. Because if this is a matter of being in a marriage and that marriage is falling apart and you're about to make a decision to exit a marriage, you better have some mental, emotional, and spiritual alignment. Now, I know all the believers are going to come in here and say, well, Doc, but the Bible don't approve divorce. It doesn't? Really? Which Bible you reading? We're not going to go down that rabbit hole tonight. I've explained that before. So no, you need to have mental, emotional, and spiritual alignment when it comes even down to your marriage, which is why some of y'all are trying to pray and get God to approve you leaving a marriage he never sanctioned in the first place. You know why? I'm about to get in trouble. I'm trying to leave this alone. You're trying to get God to approve you leaving a marriage that he never sanctioned in the first place. You trying to get mental, emotional, and spiritual alignment about leaving a marriage, watch, that you never had mental, emotional, and spiritual alignment before you got in it. I've said this to many of y'all before. I'll say it again. I don't care what most of y'all say. Having dealt with so many couples that are struggling in their marriage and having to prove to them that God, like they claim, was not the center of their marriage, I'm here to tell you, most people didn't pray about their partners like they thought they did. No, you felt butterflies. You felt your love language was the same. You had the same sign. You was a fire. They was water. You was all of this stuff. And you jump right on in. And then all of a sudden, you want God to give you mental, emotional, and spiritual alignment about something he never sanctioned in the first place. There's your answer. And here's the thing about a sign. You don't need a sign when you got the evidence. I'm about to get up from my desk. You don't need a sign when you got the evidence. What's the evidence? The evidence is mental, emotional, and spiritual alignment. You don't need a sign when you got evidence. What are street signs for? You want an analogy? What are street signs for? Street signs tell you that something's coming. 10 miles away, Chick-fil-A. 10 miles away, exit 59B. When you get to Chick-fil-A, do you keep seeing signs? You don't. You know why you don't keep seeing signs when you get to Chick-fil-A? Because you don't need a sign when the evidence is in your face. Signs are only useful when you can't see the evidence. Some of y'all been asking for a sign when you ought to have been looking for mental, emotional, and spiritual alignment. And when you find mental, emotional, and spiritual alignment, you're going to find the evidence. Wait a minute, there ain't no agreement. So instead of looking for signs, you're going to just tap into this evidence. That's why I don't pray and ask God for a sign. What I do is I seek alignment in my life. My thoughts and my emotions need to agree with my spirit. And if they ain't on the same page, I got to get my thoughts and my emotions up to where my spirit is. I got to check all three to make sure they are in alignment. Besides, signs are for people who ain't doing the work. Signs are for people that are weak in alignment. Believers might say weak in faith. I got reference for this if you need it. I don't ask for signs. Y'all can. I don't. Yeah, many of y'all want a line. And now you want answers on how to get out the marriage. Wait a minute. You didn't even seek for answers to get in. You didn't even seek for mental, emotional, and spiritual alignment to get in it. Now you want it to get out. And you're concerned about the spiritual aspect of this. Pause, take a step back, and ask yourself, are you seeking for alignment for something that was never sanctioned in the first place? And if y'all are honest, most of you are honest, most of you did not have that alignment before you went in. Now, if you had alignment before you went in, then that could mean you're with a partner who ain't doing their part to also keep and maintain that alignment. And that's when we get into things like equally yoked and how can two walk together except they agree? Because if two people come together and they had mental, emotional, and spiritual alignment, then they got to work to do what? Maintain it. You can't get the evidence and then throw it in the trash. You got to get the evidence and you got to keep it. Let me leave that alone. So when can you start trusting your heart? Let me give you 3 ways and I'm done. Y'all supporting this show? Yeah, signs are for the weak. I know y'all don't like that. Everybody want a sign. Oh my God, God, send me a sign. Buddha, send me a sign. Allah, send me a sign. I just need a sign. No, you don't. When I get to the restaurant, I don't need nobody to put a sign in my face to say, hey, you're almost there. I don't need that because I'm here. And that's how mental, emotional, and spiritual alignment works. When I got mental, emotional, spiritual alignment, whatever's in front of me could be walking on water. It ain't gonna matter. Only folks that need signs are people that are weak in faith and alignment. Watch this. Let me give you 3 signs that will show you can start trusting your heart. Somebody said, hey, Doc, then how do I know I can start trusting my heart? Good. Let me give you 3 signs that you can start trusting your heart. And I've already given you one of them. I'm going to give you these 3 signs and I'm done. Y'all, I told y'all about LA October the 1st, 4th, right? Did I tell you about the tour coming to LA October the 4th? I did. Dallas, September the 13th. Get your tickets for Dallas. Charlotte next Saturday, August the 16th. We'll be announcing New Orleans. The tour is going to end December the 13th in Atlanta, and possibly another additional city in November if I can work it out. So make sure you mark those notes, those dates. Go ahead and get your tickets. The links are in my bio. Support the show. 3 signs you can start trusting your heart. Number 1, when your thoughts, emotions, and spirit get on the same page. We've been talking about it all night. When your thoughts, yes, Florida is the possibility. When your thoughts, emotions, and spirit get on the same page. LA is confirmed, October the 4th. Tickets are in my bio. Go get them. Number 1, you can start trusting your heart when your thoughts, emotions, and spirit get on the same page. Until then, your heart is as suspect as you are. Do not trust your heart if your thoughts, emotions, and spirit are not on the same page. I don't care what Dr. Phil, I don't care what your favorite podcaster, I don't care what your pastor told you. I got a spiritual foundation too. I'm telling you now, if your thoughts, emotion, and spirits are not on the same page, don't trust your heart. Your heart is deceitful. Your heart will fool you, turn around, and make a fool out of you. Oh, you're going to be ready. Nicer. No, you're gonna be. You can't say it doesn't sound. It sounds like I'll never be ready. That no. You're gonna be ready, but y'all, when I tell, don't you listen? Let me just because I don't want Nisa and other people to feel discouraged. Listen to me. I'm not beating y'all down to discourage you tonight, but let me play devil's advocate here. Thank you for your support, Moesha. I appreciate it. Let me play devil's advocate here really quickly. When people tell me, they come to me as new clients and they say to me, Doc, I'm doing the work. All you got to do is listen to one of my lives. And half of you going to realize you ain't done half the work you think you've been doing. There are levels to this. There are levels to this. So I don't want none of y'all to hear this and be like, oh my God, I'll never get there. This is a lot. Doc is overwhelming me. No. No, Doc is challenging you. Change your frame. But I'm telling you right now, most of you can listen to one of my lives, look at the last 5 years of your counseling, and see a difference. It don't take long. There's levels. So when people come to me and say they're doing the work, then I ask real questions. Okay? So you're gonna get there. You're gonna get there. I can promise you that. So number 1, your heart, your thoughts, your spirit, I'm sorry, your thoughts, your emotions, your spirit have to get on the same page. Right? Is that fair? Good. Number 2, watch this. You can start trusting your heart. Number 2, here we go. I appreciate you. When you have mastered controlling your emotions, let me just go ahead and pick out one of these 3 and spend some time here real quick. 3 minutes. You can start trusting your heart when you have mastered controlling your emotions. You know why? Because most of the number one thing that gets most of us in trouble in this foolish decision-making process where we allow our heart to lead the way instead of our thoughts. The number one thing that trips most of us up every time is not being able to control our emotions, how we feel. I have said it 6 times. I want to say it 7 times. Your feelings will fool you, turn around and make a fool out of you. Your feelings will fool you and then turn around and make a fool out of you. I knew I could trust my heart when I could control how I felt. I want you to write that down right now. You will know you can trust your heart. You will know you can control or trust your heart. You will know you can trust your heart when you can control how you feel. And until then, We got some more work to do. Doc, no doc, no doc. Where my Muffet babies when I need them? No doc, my emotions just get the best of me. No, 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 no. Then you got more work to do. Any of y'all right now having the thoughts that sometimes your emotions just get the best of you, that is a clear sign that you make foolish decisions. I can guarantee it. There's nobody that has ever said anywhere that my emotion sometimes gets the best of me, that they don't make dumb decisions. You're going to make foolish decisions if that's your perspective. It is guaranteed. I don't know nobody who's ever made that statement who also doesn't make foolish decisions. I like what Moesha on YouTube said. She said, my grown kids say, Mom, you're so chilled and calm. Baby, this is life. It is. My kids say the same. Had a really nice heart to heart conversation with my kids. What's today? Thursday. I think it was yesterday. We have some of the most amazing conversations at our kitchen island. And just my kids are really growing and maturing. They're so smart. They're so introspective. I'm not just saying because my kids, it's just the truth. I love my kids. They're so smart. We had a really good conversation about it. And they was just like, yeah, Daddy, you're just so calm. Like you just really explain things in a very calm and easy way. Yeah, I don't get worked up. Mm-mm. When you can control how you feel, you can master your life. And some of you, your life is making you look foolish because your feelings are not being controlled. If you can't control your feelings, you will never be able to tame your spirit. And if you can't tame your spirit, you will be uncontrollable, a vagabond, a runaway prisoner. The key to building a solid spiritual foundation is getting your emotions under control. The key to having a solid spiritual foundation is controlling how you feel and not letting your feelings get the best of you. That's the key. So when your thoughts consistently tell your emotions how to feel and not the other way around, you can start trusting your heart. When your thoughts can consistently start telling your emotions how to feel and not the other way around, you can start trusting your heart. Until then, we need some more work. We need some more work. I like that, Demetra, because self control really is an underrated characteristic that becomes a part of this larger fruit that should be reflective of our lives. Self control. I don't look. Not only do I don't trust people's decision making when they can't control their heart, I don't trust people in general without self control. If you ain't got no self control, you're not even trustworthy. Let's just go all the way to the bottom of the barrel. If you don't have self control, you're not even trustworthy. Not at all. I don't trust nobody who ain't got no self control. You know why? Because you're bound to do anything at any given time. You're bound. You're bound to be unpredictable at any given time. You connected to somebody that's got poor self control, you better run. Or you better expect to be on a roller coaster. Now, some of y'all not going to like what I'm going to say. I see a comment. Only, yeah, the fruit tree exercise that I did on this was really powerful. See a comment, and I just want to this is not to demean anybody, but I'll just say this because I can't let this go, because I'm sure there are other people that think this. They say only God can help you build self-control because we can't do nothing of our own. I don't agree with that. This is not going to sound right to a lot of you believers, but just hear me out. Faith without works is what? Dead. And there's such a thing as being so spiritual that you don't realize your natural responsibility in your foolishness. I know. I know. Doc's going to be the bad guy. But some folks are so spiritual that they don't realize their natural responsibility in their foolishness. I.e., I'm believing God for a job, but you won't fill out applications. Only God can control that. I got a better one. I got a better one. It's like people who pray for God to deliver them from high blood pressure, but they eat hamburgers every day. Now, who did that? Did you do it? Did God do it? Or did God allow you, through the power of free will and the inability to have self-control, to make that decision? I love y'all. I'm not trying to come down on anybody. Just hear me out. Hey, Keith, it's good to see you, sweetheart. I'm not trying to come down on anybody. Just hear me out. This whole idea that only God can give you self-control, y'all stop saying that stuff. That does not diminish the power of God. I believe in God wholeheartedly. But God blesses us, y'all. And the reason, one of the biggest reasons why he blesses us so well, is because he gives us free will. And when you with free will can make the right decision, that's a different level of decision making. Are y'all listening to me? If we can choose everything else, we can choose self-control. And I believe this, that when you make the effort to choose self-control, then God will then empower you. Let me put it real plainly. My grandma used to say it like this: he blesses those. He tends to bless those who are willing to help themselves. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm just because we make this stuff so complicated. You got high blood pressure and you acting like you shocked that when you go back to the doctor, he wants to give you more metformin. But you've been praying and asking God to give you the wisdom to beat blood pressure. I got a better idea. Stop eating hamburgers. Did you really need wisdom for that? Oh my God. I'm asking a serious question. Did you really? We over spirit. Let me just give y'all a life hack here. I've told religious spaces this many times. We over spiritualize a lot because we don't want to take natural responsibility. Uh-oh. Oh my God. Oh yeah, believers are good for this. We over spiritualize a lot of stuff to avoid personal responsibility. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. In your mind, you do it to avoid personal responsibility. And you will come up with every reason in the world to avoid it. This is why many of y'all are still waiting on God to give you a job instead of applying for one. You're waiting on God to get you off metformin instead of changing your diet. You're waiting on God to miraculously cause you to lose weight instead of you getting up and working out. You're waiting on God to fix your marriage instead of you fixing your attitude. Oh my God. Let me stop. Let me just stop. Here's the third thing you can do. You need to look for if you can start, if this is happening, you can start trusting your heart. And then I'm done. Yeah, we love to over spiritualize stuff. I love it. And I laugh at it because it's crazy to me. Meanwhile, God is blessing many of us who are helping ourselves. This is going to sound bad. Let me just say this one last thing. I told a friend of mine who knew I was going to the doctor. I had my annual checkup about a month and a half ago. Let me give you this, and then I'm going to give you number 3, and then I'm done. Okay. I told a friend of mine that I had a a checkup, and he was like, "Are you nervous?" And I said, "No, I'm not nervous, not at all." I said, "Why would I be nervous?" He said, "Because you're going to the doctor." I said, "Yeah, absolutely. I am going to the doctor, but I'm not nervous." He said, "Why wouldn't you be?" I said, "I'll tell you why I'm not nervous. The reason why I'm not nervous about going to the doctor is because I did everything I was supposed to do before I went." Oh my God. The reason why I'm not nervous is because I did everything I was supposed to do before I went. And then this is when I really went there. Y'all ready? This is how I really went there. I really went there when I said, and guess what? When I go to the doctor, because I have done everything I'm supposed to do, when I get to the doctor or before I'm heading to the doctor, I don't be falling out praying and begging God to make my doctor's appointment clear and make everything well. I don't do all of that. I whisper a little prayer and say, "God, thank you for the opportunity. I know you're going to cover me. I appreciate you and I trust you. Amen." And I go right on about my business. And some of y'all be banning and y'all just be hawking and spitting. Y'all be doing all of that stuff. I don't. Doc, you don't actually pray before you go to the doc. No, I say a little prayer of thankfulness. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be alive to be able to go. But do I be falling out and carrying on like y'all do? No. You know why? Because faith with works creates miracles. Oh my God. I don't be looking for miracles. I just do the work. Let me stop. Let me just stop. This is just I need a miracle. I don't. I don't need a miracle. I do the work. Miracles are bonuses for me. And a lot of us as believers would be out of the miracle seeking business if we just did a little bit more work. Work while it's day. The night coming, you ain't going to be able to. Anyway, let me stop. Third thing, and I'm done. Third thing that you, third way that you can start trusting your heart. Record this: when your decisions can be affirmed by a neutral witness. This is an interesting one. When your decisions can be affirmed by a neutral witness. When your decisions can be affirmed by a neutral witness, then you can start trusting your heart. Until then, you can't. And let me be clear here. Having your decisions affirmed by a neutral witness is not about validation. It's not about seeking validation. Having your decisions validated by a neutral third party is about accountability and checks and balances. It's about checks and balances. And many of us are struggling here because we don't have checks and balances. So, this is what I suggest to my clients. When you have a history of making foolish decisions and now you're on this healing journey, so you're on this healing journey, you're reading the books, you're journaling, you're meditating, you're praying, you're doing all of this stuff. When you're on that type of journey, this is what you need to do. You still need to be vetted by a neutral third party. You need to be vetted by a neutral third party. Does this make sense? I'm talking to those of you that have a history of making foolish decisions. Those of you with a history of foolish decisions need to be vetted by a neutral witness. And I don't care how much work you're doing, I don't care how many books you're reading. This is where accountability partners really come into play. What is an accountability partner? Well, they're not directly responsible for your behavior, but they help to oversee some of your behavior. Go back and see the example that I said in the beginning. They're not directly responsible for your behavior, but they oversee your behavior. Does that make sense? All right, I'm seeing a lot of eagles. What's going on? What's going on? Okay, y'all handle it. I don't. That looks like accountability people that are doing the work and have proven the ability to not only have done the work, but to be able to give you advice regarding the work that you're doing. Right? Those of you believers would understand this in the context of in the mouth of two or three witnesses. You need to have some things established. I talked to you earlier about um I talked to you earlier about me having a lot of clients that are counselors, therapists, coaches, things like that. Well, what makes that powerful is that those folks consider me to be what I just gave you in point number 3, a person that can affirm their growth as a neutral witness. what is he? A lot of people say she getting a lawsuit. I don't know what these people talking about. Y'all just get these people out of the way, please. Whoever they are. Uh, I ain't had an eagle in a long time on the live, so it's bound to happen. Um, but this is where accountability partners come into play, y'all. We gotta have them. You gotta have accountability partners. And people, somebody asked the question earlier. Well, then, Doc, how do I know which counselor to use? How do I know it's a good counselor? I'll tell you, top on the list. I said it earlier. It's going to be a person that is honest with you. A person who is honest with you is going to hold you to the fire. They're going to hold you to the fire. They're going to hold you accountable and responsible. And when you have a history of foolish decisions and foolish, where's my pen? There it is. We have a history of foolish decisions and decision making. You need an accountability partner. Even until you get to a place of a consistent track record of making decisions that are in alignment with your mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Those three things have to be on the same page. And these can be people that have witnessed your growth. These can be people that don't know you from Adam, but they know what growth looks like. I don't know my clients. I got almost 1,200. I don't know when I first meet them. I don't know them from Adam. But I'll tell you what I do know. I know what he'll look like. I know what the real work looks like. I know what accountability looks like. That I do know. And when you know what that looks like, that's all that really matters. So we really need to keep this in mind, y'all. We really need to keep this in mind. Okay? And I don't mind. Somebody's saying, some of y'all are saying, well, Doc, you're my accountability partner. I don't have a problem with that. I don't mind being people's accountability partner. That's part of my job in the work that I do. I don't mind doing that. But I'm telling y'all, we need this because until then, you can't start trusting your heart. So again, yeah, y'all come on TikTok, hit that like button. Let's get to 100K. I appreciate that, Kiki. Let's do that. Y'all hit the like button. Everybody on TikTok, you just let's do a liking thing for 60 seconds. Y'all do it just for 60 seconds. When can you start trusting your heart again? When your thoughts, emotions, and spirit gets on the same page. When you master controlling your emotions. When you get to a place where your decisions can be affirmed by a neutral witness. When those types of things are clicking and moving and shaking, then we can trust your heart. And you can go ahead and release your heart to do the things that you need to do. But until then, I'm telling y'all better go slow. Y'all better go slow. Alignment is critical to ensure. Alignment is critical to ensure that you are making decisions with your thoughts, your emotions, and your spirit all on the same page. And again, if you don't have that type of alignment or agreement, I will be very careful. All right, y'all, 95.7. Keep going, y'all. Go. Tap it, tap it, tap it, tap it, tap it. All right, I'm done. Y'all support the show tonight? I'm going to check and see. I hope you did. This was a live for the books. Y'all support the show? I think it got a little crazy at the end. I don't know what's going on. Y'all support the show? I hope you did. Probably one of the most solid lives we've done in a while. And we do these pretty regularly, I believe. But I hope the output of tonight is that many of you realize your focus needs to go back to mental, emotional, and spiritual alignment, not all this other stuff. It does not need to go back to all of this other stuff. Your focus for many of you, if you don't know what the next decision needs to be in terms of these foolish decisions you made in the past, then your best go-to button is to go back to mental, emotional, and spiritual alignment. Start there. And if you start at a place where you try to get that stuff on the same page, everything else is going to fall in place. Y'all, this making sense? Was this helpful tonight? Hmm? Is this helpful? I hope so. I really enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful. And I really appreciate your support. Support the show if you haven't already. I want to highly encourage you to do that so I can leave this up, because I really want to leave this up, especially for people that need it, that want to rewatch it, that can benefit from it. Okay. Leave this up. So y'all support the show so we can do it for the people that have supported that really need this content. Also, before you go, like and share the video so that if it does stay up, then people can really see this and get this information and really help their development as it relates to them getting to a place of alignment in their lives, right? Ultimately, I want all of you mentally, emotionally, and spiritually to be on the same page. Okay, so I want you to share this video so many people can get it, all right? Again, don't forget, real quick, I'll flash it on the screen. Everybody but TikTok can see it. I'll flash it on the screen. Don't forget, Charlotte is coming up this next Saturday, not this Saturday, August the 16th. Make sure you grab your ticket if you haven't already. My 3-hour couples intensive have been very popular. Those things have been booking up like crazy. I think I may have 1 or 2 more slots left on that. Check it out. Should I stay or should I go? Coming up again. That's the wrong flyer. I have to put the right flyer up. That's coming up, I think, August the 23rd. Definitely check that out. My 5th book, Don't Make It Happen, Let It Go. Let It Go was just released. Check that out. Also, don't forget about the tour in Dallas, September the 13th. Don't forget about the tour stop in Los Angeles, California, October the 4th. The tickets are on sale right now for all of these stops. Go check it out. And I really would appreciate it. And I can't wait to see all of you on these tour stops. Listen, y'all, love y'all. I appreciate all of your support. I ran way over tonight. It's 11:25. And I got to get up early in the morning. Appreciate all of you. And thank you for your support. Again, support the show. I'm going to give you guys about an hour to support the show. No, about 30 minutes rather, because I'm not going to be up much longer than that to support the show. Thank you, TikTok. Y'all showed out in much better numbers tonight. I know it's not on y'all, it's on the algorithm, but I appreciate you. Have a tremendous evening. Don't forget, you can pre-order Let It Go. Don't make it happen. Don't make it happen. Let it go. And you'll be able to order again 5 Areas of Healing starting next week. Love you guys. Peace and blessings. Have a good evening. Talk to you soon.